This is my favorite part. This is the subconscious. I call this the multiplier effect. The multiplier effect is how it talks about NLP. Is anybody familiar with NLP? A couple of us. It's neuro-linguistic programming. That's what NLP stands for. Neuro-linguistic programming. It's how people communicate on the subconscious. So there's verbal cues, there's visual cues. Like you see me going like this? And when I do that, you all start shaking your head, yes. That is a non-verbal cue to be able to do something. And you're all like, that's right, yeah, that's right. Yeah, very good, John. Very good. Yeah, man, yeah. How you doing? Yeah? Having a good time? Yeah? Right up in the front row, I like it. So when I was doing this back in the day, I had no idea that this was actually a thing. Like NLP is something I learned after I had left Hurricane Marketing Enterprise, after I had left CareChoice in the home care business. But if I go co-marketing with my power partner on Tuesday, and I go into an account, and then I follow up, and then on Friday, the following week, I go back there with my power partner. Say it's Theresa and I, all right? And then on Wednesday, I come back, and then on, there we go. On Thursday, the following week, we come back. So now for 4 weeks in a row, we've gone co-marketing to the same accounts. When I go back in there the 5th week by myself, I can get past the gatekeeper. I'm welcomed. I know the people in the community. They probably have already started referring me by this point. And you know what the coolest part is? When I show up on that Tuesday, what is the first question they're going to ask me when I come by myself? Where's Theresa? And so on a subconscious level, every time that individual sees me, they see Theresa. Every time they see Theresa, they see me. So we can show up at 2 different times in that same week, and it's like we showed up twice in the same week. That's the multiplier effect. And it makes a lot of sense. Because in this business, when it comes to getting referrals and referral lead generation, it's all about getting remembered when the time of the referral is made. Often when we drop in, may not be the right time. Now you want to stagger, that's why you stagger out your marketing visits like this, because you want to try to be there at the right time for the referral, but more often than not, we're going to be there at the wrong time. But in order for them to remember us, that's this multiplier effect. So once we get that going, boom, we're good to go. And now we can start, once we get 2 or 3 of those, that's our gateway into creating a team of power partners. That's our gateway into creating a regional preferred provider group. So it all starts from having a power partner and then replicating that process over. And I fell into this by accident. I always tell the story of the natural disasters, right? That was my power partner group. You know, do you want to know how I got the nickname Steve the Hurricane, right? Who would like to know that? Let me see your hand, all right? A couple of us. Oh, good, a lot of you, good. So I got the nickname Steve the Hurricane in February of 2006. What ended up happening, I came on in 2005. I was the director of business development, and I took Brian's small company, and I basically doubled it in 6 months' time with my marketing effort. And by the way, folks, I didn't tell you my joke, but back at this time, you know the acronym ADLs, right? I thought that was a disease. All right, I thought that was Lou Gehrig's disease, and it wasn't until later on in that same month, February 2006, when I'm talking to a therapist about someone's ADLs, and then I said, that poor person, their ADLs. And she's like, what are you talking about? What do you think ADLs is? And I'm like, Lou Gehrig's disease? And she's like, ALS is Lou Gehrig's disease. ADLs, activities of daily living. Oh, yes, tell me about those activities of daily living. And she's like, I've been referring you for months, and you don't know what ADLs stands for? And I'm like, I can assure you, somebody in the company knows what ADLs stands for, all right? So this is, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I just knew sales and marketing. That's all that I knew. I did not know healthcare. So I sit down with Brian. He's the owner of CareChoice. He gives me a ridiculous review and a ridiculous raise. And he basically does like a profit share model with me because he's like, I don't ever want to lose you because of what you're doing for my company. So I'm going to share the profit. For every hour you bring in, I'm giving you X amount of money for it. And I was like, wow, you're going to pay me what I'm worth. I'm going to be a force of nature out there. And then Brian goes, I want you to be a hurricane. And that's when Steve the Hurricane was born, right? So I leave that meeting and I go to see one of my power partners, Joe. And when I go to see Joe, I start talking to Joe, and I'm like, hey, Joe, guess what? I'm Steve the Hurricane. I just got this nickname. It's fantastic. Woo! And he's like, well, if you're Steve the Hurricane, then I'm Joe the Flood. And I'm like, ooh, raining devastation on the healthcare industry, right? A couple of days later, we go to a networking event. We run into Michelle Curry, who's another friend of ours from another assisted living, another power partner. And I'm like, hey, Michelle, guess what? I'm Steve the Hurricane. And then Joe goes, I'm Joe the Flood. And she goes, well, honey, if you're Steve the Hurricane and you're Joe the Flood, then I'm Michelle the Tornado up in here. And I was like, ooh, we are the natural disasters, right? And so eventually we ended up getting a blizzard and a storm and an avalanche and a landslide. It gets hard after a while. There's only so many natural disasters. Acid rain, right? I think that was you, right? So we had some amazing partnerships. But what I stumbled into, while it sounds funny, and it was funny, like my favorite part of Power Partners is it makes marketing fun. Because marketing by yourself can be real lonely. Marketing by yourself, you know, you might cry in your car because of how hard it can be, right? I see people shaking their head, you know what I'm talking about. And those of you who haven't shaken your head, yes, you're just not working hard enough, I'm telling you. It's gonna happen, all right? You're gonna cry in your car, you'll be like, Steve was right. This is hard. I thought I could do this, right? This is gonna happen. But when you're at your power partners, you're having fun. So once you get a couple of power partners, now you wanna take it to that next level. And you gotta take the leadership because people don't know this concept. You're learning this concept. So we have to be able to get our people meeting regularly and create this group. And I always say, give your group a name. Like, have fun with it. Like, we were the natural disasters. One of my clients way back in the day, they were the 4 brunettes in Houston, Texas. The 4 brunettes was their power partner group because they said that everybody in the industry is blonde hair, but the 4 of us were the 4 brunettes. And they were power partners, and they went everywhere, and they had their team, and they organized it. It was amazing. So you create your name, have fun with it.
The boot camp was fabulous, of course. Information was excellent, tons of information. But I want to stress a couple of things that have really impressed me. I'm a minister by calling. I'm a marketer by career. And I found Steve to be a guy with such integrity. And that's important to me because skill could take you to the top, but integrity keeps you there. And this is a guy that is going to be training people for years to come. So I encourage you, if you want to grow your business, but do it with people who have the highest level of integrity, you need to be at the very next boot camp. Hope to see you there. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.